Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So someone had asked me about what soil mix do I use for my cacti. Now I don't have a whole experience with cacti because I've recently started to keep them and I'm kind of liking it because I have collected few of them. Most of these are astros, and I have this bunny cactus over here, and this one probably is the bird's nest cacti. I think you'll get a fair idea by looking at it why it's called as the bird's nest. Looks absolutely beautiful, very interesting cacti, and I'm slowly kind of getting fond of them, and I might purchase few because I did see some online that look absolutely beautiful, so I might probably get some. So this bunny ear cactus is something that I recently got as a cutting. Now guys, another important thing, you see all these small little velvety texture growing on it. These are all small tiny thorns. Be extremely careful. I completely forgot about it and I held it like this, and then after some time I realized that my entire thumb was hurting and I could feel that there was something piercing because they are small little tiny thorns in a bunch like that, and it is very difficult to get rid of them. It was hurting a lot, and ever since then I learned my lesson. I kind of thought probably this is not thorns. It doesn't look like these are going to prick your hand, but it did, so it's quite dangerous. Now I had taken the cutting. I'm going to show it to you. I will take it out with the help of this tweezers because I do not want to touch it. And it's been, I think, almost a month that I got it, but today I happened to notice that it is starting to root, as you can see over here. So this was the portion that was connected. I'll put up the image on the screen so you can get a fair idea of how it looks, because if you're going to look at this piece you might not be able to understand how it tends to grow. So I'll put up the image, you'll get a fair idea. So this is how it tends to look like. This one portion was taken from the mother plant, and this was where the part was cut. I did not use any rooting hormones or cinnamon powder. I just took the cutting and I put it in the soil mix, and today I happen to notice small little white roots coming up. So pretty exciting to see that. Now the soil mix that I have used is a very gritty soil mix. So it's the same soil mix that I use for my succulents, which is 80% of aquarium sand and 20% of filtered garden soil. But what I've done over here is I have added some pumice also in this. You can see all of this white, especially around the root area where the roots are going to be sitting. I have added a good amount of the pumice so that it can be a little bit more airy. And then I took it and I just placed it like this. Just being a little careful, and then I pushed the soil around it like this so that it can stay steady, and then this is how it started to root. So I'm very happy that it is such a easy thing to do. I will get few more of the cactus, as I said, so it's pretty interesting to grow. Probably there are some seeds from some flowering plant that have kind of attached to it, and it also looks very unique, very different from the regular cactus. Usually the cactus are known to have like really large thorns like this, but this looks very different. So I was quite happy to get one of this. Probably I'll get few more. And all of them are doing quite well. Watering, I tend to keep them a little bit underwatered because right now I'm not very familiar with the watering. Even though they have been with me for quite some time, I'm still a little bit confused about the watering, because what I have seen, a lot of people tend to kill them by over-watering. So just like my succulents, I've kept them a little underwatered, which is not very good actually. So you can see this one is kind of supposed to be more dark green in color, but it's turned almost brown in color because of dehydration. I'll be going ahead and watering. You can see also some of these have got wrinkles, so I'll have to do a quick watering. But other than that, all of the succulents are looking fantastic. These are some new thorns that have come up on this recently. I think this is called as the brain cactus. I'm not very sure. It looks like one because of those ridges and the texture on this particular succulent. So yes, succulents are also a little bit interesting. As I said in my last video, I'm not very fond of cacti, but of late I'm finding them a little bit much more interesting. So I'm thinking of adding few in my collection. This was this is another specimen that I had bought some time back. When I got it itself, it was in a very bad condition. You can see all this browning was when I had got it, but now recently I have noticed that it's doing a little bit much better on the crown area. As you can see, this has been the new growth on the crown area. Looks absolutely beautiful. So can't wait for it to grow a little bit much better. Watering, as I said, this is something that I'm still working on. I feel that I'm underwatering most of them, which is okay as of now because I'm still learning. Underwatering is much better than overwatering. Just like succulents, if you overwater them, they will become soft and they'll get rotted and there is no going back. Underwatering, you can still manage to water them and revive them. So compared to overwatering, underwatering is a little better, but again not excessively, just like our succulents. So overall they're doing quite well, but I think I might have answered the question. The same soil mix that I use, if you are from a very dry environment, you can go for cinder. A lot of people tend to grow this cactus in cinder as well. Cinder tends to work out really well. A lot of people who do not know what cinder is basically the byproduct of coal mines. Basically it's from the coal mines and it tends to retain a slight amount of moisture. That's why it works very well for people who are from a very dry environment. But if you are from a very humid environment, please avoid using cinder because cinder tends to retain moisture and you already have an environment that is humid, so it's not going to work out really well. A lot of times there is an issue of pest. A lot of mealybugs, mold, fungus tends to grow, especially if you are from a very humid environment and you're using cinder. Cinder is better for people who are from a very dry, or let's say from a very dry and warm environment. It will work out really well. But people who are from coastal areas or closer to the coastal area or a high humid environment, please avoid using a cinder because that can create issues. You can go with sand and garden soil. It is going to work out really well. I'm not using cinder. I'm just using the regular soil mix because I do not want to have so many different types of soil mix. I just stick to the one type of soil mix, and luckily it has been working out really well for my cacti. I think these cacti at the back were purchased quite some time. Probably, maybe I think it might have been more than 3 to 4 months or 5 months. I'm not very sure. But so far, none of them have died. That is more important. Even though it was my first time keeping them, because I'm very new to these varieties, so it was something that I was very skeptical about. I wanted to make sure that I do not kill them. Luckily all of them have survived, so that's a good thing. But as and when I will start collecting more cacti, and once I get a little bit more of a confidence, I probably can share more about the watering. As of now, with the soil mix, I'm very confident because all of them are doing quite well. Watering is something that I'm doing it very sparingly. I do not want to overwater them. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.